Yo, what's good guys? This is Nightwing2303 from WearTesters.com. Welcome back to Nightwing Knows. If you're ever interested in dropping me a line, all you gotta do is shoot me an email right over here. If you don't see your question answered right away, please be patient. There are literally hundreds of these emails coming in, so I'm doing my best. But with that being said, let's go ahead and get into the question.
While we're eating.
I always see your tattoos in your videos. Could you show some of them and explain what they mean? Also, do you regret any that you have gotten? And do you have any more plans to get any more work done? Alright, so I'm not going to be able to show all of them in the video just because this is where I like to keep the video cropped and I don't want to mess with the camera because I do record these all at once. So the entire week's videos I just kind of like start answering questions and I chop them all up into individual segments. Now, most of the tattoos that you guys are going to see are the ones that are on my arms, my forearms, and things like that. My very first one was actually this one right here. It is my wedding ring. The reason why I got the ring tattooed instead of having an actual ring is because when I first got the tattoo and when I was getting married to my wife, I did a whole lot of maintenance work. Power tools, this, that, and the other, and I really didn't want one of those horror stories where your ring gets caught to one of those power items and then rips your finger off. So I opted to get it tattooed on. I thought I was going to throw up that day because I was so just kind of nervous and anxious. I thought it was going to hurt like hell. And by the time that needle finally stuck in my finger, I was like, that's it. And from then on, I was literally hooked. I even did freelance tattooing on my own. And so some of the tattoos that I have were actually done by me for practice purposes. I wouldn't say that I regret them, but they're definitely not the nicest looking. One of them was this one right here. This is my daughter's name. And then another one was right here on my bicep. This is actually a haiku. And the haiku means, in a world of pain and grief, flowers bloom even then. That's what it translates to. So it was a positive message within a negative situation. Something that I was dealing with a lot when I was younger. Constantly people dying in my life and I just wasn't quite understanding what the hell was going on. I almost thought it was me. I thought I was like a curse or something, like people should just stay the f away from me because it seemed like everybody that I knew at that time was literally dropping like flies. Luckily nobody that I've run into recently has died, so hopefully that is true. It's not actually me, it was just life happening. But there are always positives that come out of the negatives, and so even if you're having a hard time, you know, you just kind of got to remember that. I also have this one right here that I did myself. It just says family. I was just trying some different script and I put 1 star for each of the family members within my immediate family, meaning me, my wife, and my daughter. I actually have to add one because my son is now here, so now there's 4 of us instead of 3. This one right here is probably the most meaningful besides the wedding ring. I don't know if you guys are even going to be able to see it. Hopefully you can. But this one I partially drew. I drew most of it except for the signature right here, which says Eric Lowe. Eric is my best friend. He passed away in 2007 and has the date right there, 1/16/07. I'll never forget that day. His shoes are actually right here in the glass case. They were my shoes at one time and then I gave it to him and then I ended up getting them back after he passed. This comic book right here, that was his as well. It's Action Comics #1. It is a reprint though, it's not the real thing. Or it's real, but it's not the original. I put it in the glass case because it was special to me because it was his. But that is what that one means, and then this little guy right here is just kind of like a deathly looking angel. Just practicing on myself once again. And this guy right here is Batman and Superman. It's the comic book logo, which is also very similar to the logo they're using in the Batman v Superman movie. And underneath it, it has Kryptonian writing and it says brothers. My stepbrother has the same exact tattoo. Me and him are pretty close. And then this one is just a broken angel tattoo. Again, kind of symbolizing death and life all at the same time. Again, I was going through really hard times after my first child was born, and you know, I've only been like technically happy over the past like 4 years or so. And then right here I just got some nautical stars in red, white, and blue just because nautical stars are kind of cool looking, and red, white, and blue to represent the country that we all live in. Not all of us, but me at least. And this one's the most recent one. It's like a little sparrow right on my wrist. My wife and I have the same exact tattoo. She got hers on her ankle and hers is in color because she's like super white, and so color really looks great on her skin, whereas I'm a little bit darker, and anytime I put color on me like this, it just kind of looks dull, and I don't like the way that it turns out on my skin personally, so I went for the black and white option. And we got that on one of our anniversaries. I think it was last year. So that's pretty much most of them. I got some all over the place just because I was practicing on different parts of my body, but that is pretty much the gist of it.